Hello, everyone. It is Tanika Breeden here with Get Real and Be Healed. I am all about helping you walk in emotional wholeness, peace, and clarity. I'm out here new on these YouTube streets, being led to just come out here to serve and to share nuggets of wisdom to help you in your relationship journey. And so, real quickly, if you're not following me, definitely hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and do that so that you can get notifications. And we're going to dive right in. My name again is Tanika Maria Breeden. I'm a certified Christian life coach, author, speaker, and again, it's about emotional wholeness, peace, and mastery. So we're going to dive in 10 signs that the person you're involved with is emotionally unavailable for the relationship that you deeply desire and that you deserve. So, number one, if they're overcommitted and too busy, if they are overcommitted and too busy, you gotta have time for a relationship. If you have a demanding ministry, demanding business, school, work schedule, there's no space for a relationship. No time for yourself, much less cultivate a real relationship. And so if that person has too much going on in their life, if you have too much going on in your life, you're not going to have time for a relationship. I encourage you to make space. You have to make space for love if you want it to show up and find you. You have to be ready for it and you have to show up for it. And so successful relationships begin with each person actually making the time for each other. But if you're in a constant state of running and busting and being too busy, you're not really ready for a relationship. Let's go in some of the other signs that people are unavailable for a relationship, and some of this may be common sense, but then again, it may not be. But number one here, this is number two actually, if they're already, the person that you're involved with, if they already got somebody, if they're married, woohoo, come on somebody. If they're married, already booed up, then you find yourself in the position of being somebody's side chick if you're a lady. And I have my own personal term for men who are men on the side for married women. Those are what I call side roosters. Mm-hmm. If you're a side person on the outside and on the periphery of a relationship, then the person that you're connected with, they're clearly unavailable because they're already taken. And those of you who are in that situation, that is a dead end dynamic all around. So clearly, they're not really emotionally available for the relationship that you deeply desire. You desire 100%, not a half time, not a full time, not a part time, a person to be in a relationship with a romantic relationship. Sign number three. Sign number three, if they're sexually fast. If a person's pushing you for sex too soon, too quick, too early, if there's a hyper focus and an over focus on engaging sexually, if there's a hyper focus and an over focus on trying to do that so fast in this hookup culture, it is very common. But if a person's after you for that, then clearly that's all they want, and they're not available emotionally. So the moment you catch feelings, they're out. They're not there to be catching feelings. They're there for what they want. And so if a person's coming at you, and if you're attracting people like that, you need to look at you on the inside. If every relationship that you've been in has people they're coming at you for that, then it's time for you to look at yourself. What is it, right? Once the relationship becomes too close, and when I say close, when I say intimate, I mean emotional wise, they're going to cut and run because that's not what they want. If you're involved with, and if you're attracting individuals with a hyper focus and wanting to get too familiar sexually, too quick, too fast, they are not ready to emotionally connect with you. Sign number four, a person that's a real charmer. This is a person that has all these wonderful things to say about you, just complimenting you, flattering you, and you've only been texting them for 2 days. You've only been talking on the phone. You may have gone on 1 or 2 dates, and now they're talking to you and saying things like as if they've known you forever, and it's not true. How could they know you so well to give you such great, grand, and grandiose compliments? That's a red flag. The ones that are charmers, that are quick to flatter and compliment you without really knowing you. And so they can do charming, but they're not really being charming. And so what it is, they're very good at communicating, very good at appearing to be open and appearing to be vulnerable and enthusiastic and all enthralled, but it's an act. But it's an act. Hear me well. Hear me well. And so what they want to build a sense of short-term intimacy for an ultimate reason. There's an ulterior motive. They appear to be open, appear to be revealing, appear to be vulnerable, really smooth talking and flattery. That's the red flag. And that person's really not open to the emotional connected relationship that you deeply desire. And so they want the chase. They like the chase. They like the chase, but they really don't want you. That is a sign of an emotionally unavailable person. The Bible says in Proverbs 29, verse 5, let me read this for you. A man who flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. You come across a person that's really, really charming, that's complimenting you, that's very complimentary and very flattery. They're laying a net for your feet, honey. They are laying a net for your feet. Be very, very careful with that. Sign number 5, and I may be losing track. I think I said I tend to lose my numbers. A person who's chronically complaining about their past relationships. In their discussion about their past relationships, everything is always the other person's fault. Nothing's ever their fault. They would denigrate and put that former partner down. And when you look at the situation, they've had several babies and kids by this person. You've been with this person. Why are you putting them down so bad? They're clearly the mother or the father of your children. You picked them, right? Why are you putting them down so bad? Question number 1. And so the breakups are never just there. They don't have anything to do with the breakup. They're putting it all on that other partner. I'd be very weary because it speaks to someone who still hasn't learned the lesson. It speaks to someone that's still emotionally immature and not taking responsibility for their role in the demise and in the breakup of their past relationship. So if you're in your dating, in your being out and about and learning and meeting new people, if a person is putting down that previous partner, that's a sign that they're emotionally unavailable. They haven't learned the lessons of the past. And whatever they didn't learn, they're going to do it again on you. Trust and believe. Right? They lack the maturity. They lack the maturity to take responsibility in their relationships. And here they come. Here you are with them. They're not emotionally ready or available for that relationship that you deeply desire. The next one, point number 6, I believe it piggybacks along with the one that I just said. They can't pass the screen for intimacy. In other words, when you really start probing to find out, okay, if it gets closer, it begins to move and progress. And you start asking more questions about, their previous past and history and trying to understand what happened, why certain things didn't work out. And they still, you can't figure out what's up with them. They get very evasive. They start acting funny. They keep avoiding the subject. You can't understand what happened in the past. Was it their issue because they couldn't open their heart, or was it something else? Is something going on where they can't really just open up and just share, hey, this is what happened. This is what I learned. This is what I learned about myself. This is where I had to grow. This is where God had to heal me. They can't even articulate that. That's a sign that a person is emotionally unavailable. All right. The next sign, what they are actually saying out of their mouth. If a person point blank tells you straight, if they point blank tell you cold turkey, I'm not ready for a relationship. I don't believe in marriage. I don't think I'm good at relationships. You better believe in what they're telling you. They're giving you what you need, right? They're telling you exactly what you need. You better believe them. They're not lying. But see, it's very alluring. It's very alluring to believe that you can be the one person that they will be ready to get to marry, that you are the one special exception to the rule, that they would just all of a sudden mysteriously be suddenly ready for a relationship. If a person tells you they're not ready, if they tell you they don't want a relationship, you better believe them, accept it. This is about to be the first and the last time they're actually telling you the truth. That means that they are unavailable. They're not available for that relationship. And so, like Maya Angelou tells you, when people tell you who they are, you better believe them. Number 7, I believe this is number 7. You guys know I don't keep track of my numbers. I have these out of order. How they treat people. If you're out and about with someone and you're dating somebody and you get out to the restaurant, come on, and they're treating the waitress rude. They're treating the Uber driver or the Lyft person rude. That's an indicator that they are emotionally unavailable for a real relationship. Why? If they can't even treat basic people with kindness in public, if it's a sign of pent up anger, if they're rude to the waiter, if they're rude to the taxi driver, it's indicative of pent up anger. And guess what? The closer you are to somebody like that, guess who's going to be the brunt of that anger? And a person who has unresolved emotional issues, they're not ready for a relationship. You're going to see it. This is a signal, number 1, that they're demanding. Number 2, that they could be emotionally abusive. If they're rude to the waiter, if they're rude to people, they don't even know. What you think they're going to do to you? They're going to turn on you. So when you're out here in these streets, in these, I call it the online dating streets, on and offline rather, and you come across somebody that's acting like that, you don't need to pray for God to give you 50 signs. You can see it with your own two eyes. They are unavailable for the relationship that you deeply desire. Number 8, we're giving signs, 10 plus signs that someone is emotionally unavailable for a relationship. Their character. Anybody that has a big ego, anybody that's real braggadocious, anyone that's filled with conceit and arrogance, and they're trying to win favor by bragging about their accomplishments, who they are, the car they drive, the money they make, their title, their social media following, how many people, and all their platforms and everything they got. That's a sign of deep-seated insecurity, and you got to inflate and puff yourself up to feel important. When people do that, that's a sign of low self-esteem. It's a very significant red flag. Why? Because someone that is emotionally healthy, they don't have to do all that bragging. They don't have to do all that showboating and front and faking and carrying on. They just carry a quiet confidence about them. They know who they are. They don't have to do all that extra. Come on, somebody. They can just be who they are. Let me look at my notes. What do I write here? Emotionally healthy people who have done some sort of personal development. And to me, personal development is your soul work, your mind. Your soul consists of your mind, your will, and your emotions. When I've done my personal development, an emotionally healthy person who has done their emotional personal development, their soul work, by contrast to the ego-driven, braggadocious person fronting and showboating, by contrast, they show a quiet confidence that says that they can be intimate. What do I mean by intimate? Emotionally intimate and committed in a relationship despite their flaws. So can you, an emotionally healthy person, yeah, I got flaws. Yes, I have issues, but I believe in myself. I love myself. I'm working through my stuff. I don't have to be bragging and showboating in front and carrying on just to feel good and pump myself up. If you run into a person that is very ego like that, that's a big ego, that's a red flag. And the next one, I believe it's number 9 or 8, I lose track of my numbers, self-centered behavior, a person that's very selfish. If a person is extremely selfish, they are not emotionally available for a real relationship. You have marriages like this. This is the person that thinks the whole world centers around them. They control the dynamic of everything. They have to be in control. They operate relationships as if it all centers and revolves around them. And so they set the agenda, they control it, they won't be inconvenienced to cater to you or your feelings. I said something right there. I said something right there. Let me read my little notes. Beware of someone who operates the relationship as if it should revolve around them. These individuals set the agenda for the relationship, they control it, and they won't be inconvenienced by having to modify their routine or their plans or what they want to do to accommodate, to cater out of love to someone else. And so this type of emotionally unavailable person, they're toxic, they're commitment phobic, they don't want to open up, they don't want to be vulnerable, they're not relationship oriented, and they don't like to compromise. And so if you're in a relationship or if you're dating someone that's like this, where they got the control, they set the agenda, they run everything, they don't want to be inconvenienced to hear your opinion and what you got to say and how your feelings are, that person is emotionally unavailable. The next one, I think this is 10 or 11, elusive conduct, AKA ghosting. Come on, AKA ghosting or elusive conduct. These are the ones that you just can't pin them down. They're here today, gone today, here today, gone tomorrow. They're only available when it's convenient for them. You know, you want to get together, you want to connect and see them. You can't never seem to like make plans, or you make plans, they'll change it on you at the last millisecond, or they won't show up, or they're working, or they're busy. And you can't have a real relationship with a person like that. If they're ducking and dodging and ghosting you, or you get with them and you have a great time one weekend, you have a really great day or whatever, and a great weekend together, and then you don't hear from them all week. You're texting them, they're non-responsive. You're trying to call and they won't call. What in the world? That is a sign that they are emotionally unavailable for the relationship that you deserve and desire. So they may say, I love you, but their actions are incongruent with what love looks like. Love is kind, love is patient, love is consistent, love is there for you. If a person's ghosting you, if a person is elusive and acting weird and funny and strange and not being there, they don't love you. Come on. We got to wake up and smell the coffee. And oftentimes it means that they're in another relationship, and likely you are the side person. And I know that's not a good feeling to be in. And other examples are, there when you start to ask questions and when you start to probe, they change subjects. People who change subjects on you, you're trying to have a conversation, there's an issue you want to deal with, they're going to change the subject because they got to control it and get you up off that subject. They don't want to talk to you. Emotionally unavailable. Anytime that you're feeling insecure and lonely and confused after you've been with them, sometimes you get with people and it's like, because with a real relationship that's genuine, where you're emotionally connected with someone, there's no doubt. You don't have to be speculating. You don't have to be pontificating and wondering. You don't have to be doing Google searches and YouTube lookups on trying to figure out what they're thinking and doing. You're going to know that you know that you know that you know. You're going to know that they care about you. You're going to feel it, and that connection is going to be there. You don't have to go through all of that. But if a person's emotionally unavailable, you're going to be confused. You're going to be anxious. And 1 Corinthians 14:33, God is not the author of confusion. So if you're in confusion with your relationship and this person is exhibiting these strange, bizarre behaviors or any of the things that I've said, that means that they're emotionally unavailable. I just wanted to drop these nuggets on you all on today. Thank you for being here. And again, it's my hope, it's my prayer, it's my desire that you rise higher, that you walk in emotional wholeness, emotional healing, peace, mastery, and resiliency. It's my desire that you get real. And sometimes getting real is painful. It's the truth that we know and do that sets us free. We can know the truth. We might not do it. We don't want to do the work. But it's important that you get real and be healed so that you can move on in life with wholeness, with peace and clarity. That is God's desire for your life. Not to be in turmoil, not to be in confused or struggling and scrapping around in a relationship that's not his best for you. God loves you and he desires to see you blessed. You are the beloved of God, and his desire is for you to be blessed. That's what I'm all about. And again, I'm Tanika. Stay tuned, stay connected to me. I have lots of upcoming classes this summer. Coming up June 14th and 15th, my Soul Ties Masterclass. That's for people that are in toxic relationships or who have just ended a relationship and they're still thinking about that ex. They're still dreaming about that ex, still feeling all these feelings in some kind of way, still slipping and dipping with that ex. If you find yourself in that place where you can't get somebody out your head and you know that that thing is toxic, I highly encourage you to sign up for the Soul Ties Masterclass. It's a small group immersion workshop that I'm doing June 14th and 15th, all online, all via the Zoom platform. So it's video, it's online, it's live. You could be anywhere in the world and you can join me in this class. I have the link for it in my bio once I finish this video, as well as you can go to bit.ly, bit.ly, and then Soul Ties, capital SOULTIES, all one word, bit.ly, bit.ly/Soul Ties. Register for that class. This is for you because we dive deep into the tridimensional aspect of sex. We dive deeply in what connects and glues people together mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and what it takes to finally cut that so that you're not dreaming about them and thinking about them and texting them and you're in that zone. And so if you're in that place, I encourage you to register for that class. Again, it's online. You can be in it from anywhere in the country. I'm here in the United States, all over the world, and be in that class. I look forward to seeing you there. I want you to share this video out, sign up, get on the notifications. If you're not following me, my goal is to be out here every week on YouTube. God loves you. Take care, and I will see you soon. God bless you.